Good morning. Tuesday, uh, Tuesday, beginning of beginning of May. Can you believe it? It's hard to believe to me. It's almost halfway through this year, and I'm still thinking about last year. I don't know. I still think we're stuck in like 2020. I don't know. How is it 2021? I don't know. So we are beginning of a new month. It's warm today. Hi, Sue. Um, and I'd open a window, but they're doing yard work out there, so it's kind of loud. Um, and I just noticed that we have a wasp in here with me, up on the curtain. So we'll have a practice, a peaceful practice, and so not to disturb the wasp, and see how that goes. Um, that is something when you live in an old house, right? There's a lot of little nooks and crannies and places for things to make their way in. They, you know, get under the siding and get in find a little place to live. Um, I was walking yesterday and I noticed my neighbor's house um, is brick, very old brick, and on the side um, they had they have all these little holes, um, not little holes. I mean, pretty substantial holes. And I was looking, and I saw birds going to hiding in the brick. So I guess they've dug out in a soft brick. They dig out their nest, like a place to nest. Um, and we often, I haven't done it on this porch yet, but I'm going to. In fact, I might today hang plants, from the beam. And at the house we lived in before this, which is just like 5 houses down the street, I always hung up baskets and frequently would get birds nesting in them, um, which then, of course, meant my plant would die because I didn't want to water and disturb the birds. But it's amazing to me um, how adaptable everything is, right? Um, we build our houses, we build our structures, but they are really just become part of the environment for the animals and the insects and the plants, right? I mean, we had a plant that had made its way inside in the winter. It was a vine that came up and made its way through a crack around the window and was coming in the house because it wanted to live. And in the winter, it was found a warm place to go. So we are part of this environment. We exist in coordination with these things. We aren't separate. Um, and when we start thinking of ourselves as separate, is when we start um, living in disharmony, right? People who, uh, put go outside and spray chemicals to kill all the wasps, or put up a bug zapper to kill every single bug. They'll put up 2 or 3 in their yard to kill every bug that's around because they want their inside, or their outside rather, to be like their inside, right? They get an exterminator in. Exterminator sprays the perimeter of the house again and again. Um, None of these things are good for us. They're not healthy. We aren't meant to be exposed to these type of chemicals and things on a daily basis. There are other ways to do that. I mean, honestly, just vacuuming and sweeping, and those are the things that disrupt the environment and cause these guys to take off. There are a lot of natural ways to get rid of critters in your home, and the critters outside your home, let them be. Right? They just want to live just like you do. If they make a nest in around your porch, give them a break. They won't be there forever, right? They just want to raise. They want a safe place to raise their family, as do we all, right? Um, when we think of them as part of our environment instead of something we are fighting against, we can enjoy, right? We can appreciate what's happening. So um, I always wanted a turtle. When I was in college, I had a turtle. I don't know why. Right? I was we lived near a pet store. I saw they had a turtle. I bought it. The turtle did not like being in the house. He didn't eat properly. Um, he was always trying to escape his cage. I really didn't know what to do with him because I was a dumb kid, right? Um, and then one time I went away for the weekend. My roommate was supposed to be taking care of him, and he disappeared. And I don't know whatever happened to that turtle. And I feel sad about that turtle. I have a feeling that her boyfriend took the turtle and gave him away or did something. Who knows? But I always felt bad for that turtle, and I always wanted a turtle. Um, but I also recognize that turtles, unlike domesticated creatures, really don't exist to be pets. It's hard to take care of them in a way that is appropriate for them. And then when I have a friend who has a tortoise, which again is another sort of wild animal, but you know, if you're careful and make a good environment for them, it's a lot of work, but they need an indoor outdoor environment. They need heat in the winter and all those things. You can. Now, our climate isn't as suited as some for that. Um, but they're pretty amazing creatures, and but they live for so long. They could live 100 years, and you have to have a plan for that. So I always told my youngest son that if I get a tortoise, I'm going to leave it to him in my will, and he's going to have to take care of it. He said he would. So, but uh, since sort of thinking about this, and again remembering my experience with the wild turtle, um, my husband and I, in walking the dog, have noticed that there's a lock, like an old ship lock, down at the end of the street that is full of water. And we didn't really notice it that much before we were walking the dog. But now that we've been watching it every day, we see all the life in there. There's crabs, there are turtles, there are frogs, sometimes briefly. And we have a big turtle, like a big sort of water turtle. Then there's a big snapping turtle and a couple small snapping turtles. And we watch out for them. My husband bought me some turtle food. And we actually go down and feed the turtles from time to time. Um, we don't see him every day. And of course, in the winter, we don't see him at all. He has a place that he goes to rest, and then he comes back out. He's back out again. Um, and I realized that I have a pet, right? I have this beautiful turtle, right? And he's not really mine, but I'm helping to take care of him, and I'm appreciating him in his beautiful surroundings. So consider this, that we can look at our environment, at our plants and animals and insects as our pets, as our, we can help be guardians. of these things. We don't have to own them. We don't have to take them into our house, lock them away, try to give them kind of an unnatural environment to live in, um, and maybe survive, maybe not survive. We can just enjoy them. We can put out bird feeders. We can, um, be kind. If you have a bug in your house and it's not going to hurt you, see if you can get it outside of the house. See if you can um, allow it to continue on its path, right? Um, we don't know. We don't know what all these things are about, right? We don't know um, what their use is, but we know they're part of the circle, just like we are. And there goes the wasp. He's going to come down and visit me. So this should be an interesting class. We'll hope the wasp doesn't come and visit. I will tell you one more bug story. And I don't know if I ever told you this, but during class you can imagine, right? When you have your mat on the floor, sometimes you're going to get little buddies come to visit you. And one of the times when we were at Garfield Park, we were in the middle of class and there was a spider that came out. It wasn't a real big spider, but I do not like spiders. So as for all of my talk and all of my belief about loving plants and animals and insects and all that, I have to say I find it very hard to love a spider. I think they are not fun. They are bad. Even though I know they really aren't, I just don't like them. So what I just had to, all right, we're going to cover this wasp up. Here we go. All right, I covered him up with the top of a container that I have here, the top of my drink. So he'll be happy. We'll just let him rest there and I'll take care of him later. So I'm teaching class and this little spider is just crawling around, getting closer and closer. I really don't care for spiders. Something about them. It's funny because I don't like spiders. My husband doesn't mind spiders, so he usually moves them, or if he can't, disposes of them. He does not like snakes. Whereas I don't really mind snakes. I mean, they're not my favorite. I wouldn't go out and get one, but I think they're kind of interesting. And if we've ever had one around, I would be the one to kind of take care of that. So yeah, that was quite an exercise in being aware, in being mindful of where the spider is and not stepping on him, and also not, but also not freaking out and not letting, my own discomfort take over. So these are all lessons for us, right? We're given these opportunities, right, to practice what we preach. I'm practicing right now, taking care of the wasp in a kind way instead of squishing him. But he's over there and I'm over here, so we're good. Okay. Let's do a little asana. I don't know if we're going to have time. We'll see. We may have time. If we don't have time for Yoga Nidra today, we might do it tomorrow because I'm feeling the need for some Yoga Nidra. This has been a hard couple of months for me, and I think you may have experienced this as well, that there are times when it's just hard to get back into the practice. It's for whatever reason, right? I mean, you have things that come up that are distracting you from it, a lot of responsibilities, or you're just not feeling it. And sometimes you just aren't, and that's okay. there are times when, and again, it's like a circle, right? So the more you're doing your yoga, the more you're doing staying along with your practice and being aware, the more enthusiastic you are about it, the more benefits you're seeing from it, the better you feel, the better everything is. You're kind of, it's this, um, cycle of positive, you know, positive actions and positive results. And when you haven't been doing it for a while, or you're just kind of going through the motions, which believe me, all of us do from time to time, you don't feel great about it. You're just kind of like, what am I doing? What's this for? I don't even know why am I here? And you know, you kind of ebb. Um, you aren't as careful with it. You don't practice every single day. You'll start to feel. Um, I think we were just. I don't know if you saw that, but I think we disconnected for a minute. Um, so if you have feelings like that, if you feel like, why am I even bothering? What is this all about? It's fine. You're going to feel like that from time to time. I certainly have been feeling like, if you've noticed, I'm not, my regularity is not great. I've been taking a lot of days off, doing different things, just not staying on course. This too is normal, right? This is what happens. This is life. Um, we can't get discouraged by it. We can't. Uh, Again, it will change, right? Um, as devoted as you are to your practice, there will be times where it's the last thing on your mind, um, and that's okay. We just keep coming back and we coming back to it. I think of it like in meditation, where um, every now and then you get those moments where you are really in the moment. You're in the space, right? Time stops, and you are really feeling that connection, and then it's gone. Like, you don't stay there, it's just briefly. And that's how it is too. I feel like sometimes my practice is really on point, man. I'm really ticking all the boxes and being really aware and doing what I'm supposed to do. And other times I'm so far from that, it's not even funny. um, but I'm always coming back, right? I'm going to try again, and I'm not going to get discouraged, because I am a human. We are all human. To expect perfection, to expect unwavering devotion, is to be disappointed. Right? And when we imbue other people or ourselves with this sort of misguided notion that we are perfect, that we are going to be always doing the right thing, we will be crushed every time. So don't let that stop you. Don't let your belief in how things should be cloud your perception of what is. Um, accept yourself, accept your own tendencies, your behaviors as they are. Make the best of your situation, as always. Um, you can spend a lot of time being sad because things aren't the way you want them to be, or you can just do your best with what you have. And that's what we want with yoga. Just do your best. Um, some days your best may not feel that great, and some days it may really shine. In both cases, you are doing what you should be. All right. Let's breathe a little bit. breathing in and out through the nose, getting that peaceful sensation, peaceful state of mind. One of the biggest favors that you can do yourself and the people around you is to learn how to cultivate this peace of mind. It is invaluable. It will help you when you are feeling tense, when you're in a tense situation. It will help the people around you. If you can stay calm when other people are losing their heads, as they say, you're going to be in a position to encourage them to be peaceful, to diffuse any situations where there's a lot of anger or heightened emotions. You are going to, attract spiders and wasps. No. But you are going to, again, de-escalate the situation that is at hand. Energy is contagious, right? When you have a heightened sense of anxiety, the others around you, the other creatures around you can sense that. Our dog is kind of nutty, right? She's a greyhound and she's a little highly strung. They are very highly strung, but many dogs are, right? Dogs in general, because they're sort of domesticated creatures, have evolved to be exceedingly aware of their surroundings and, in particular, the people around them. So when they say things like trust your dog, well, your dogs generally do. They can pick up on an energy in the situation maybe before you can. So that is a good thing. Not all dogs are really good at that. So it depends on your dog, right? But Daisy will really pick up on the emotions in the room, even when if they aren't even real. So if you're talking loudly, my kids will sometimes get to discussing things, arguing about, which movie is better or which superhero could beat this other superhero. And they're joking around, but they're talking loudly. And my dog will get wound up. She'll start barking. She'll start jumping around. She senses this, stirring up of the voices and the energy and everything. So what you are doing and what you are saying is putting this vibration, this energetic sort of vibration out into the world, both ways, right? So you can be like a megaphone, right? Which, disturbs the surroundings, makes a lot of noise. Or you can be, I like to think of the peaceful thing as kind of like the panels that they put up for like noise and sound dampening. That's kind of what we are working on, right? So it's not exactly a perfect analogy, because when you are in that peaceful space, you aren't absorbing, right? You're sort of deflecting, right? So you're not taking in that energy, but you are absorbing it and it's deflected, right? So that's what you want, right? You want to be you want to be protected, right, from a lot of this chaos that's going on around you. And when we have developed this state of mind, this state of peaceful existence, we can carry that around with us everywhere, always. It can be our constant companion, and it will help. It'll help you, and it'll help everyone around you, even the wasps and the spiders. Take a breath and drop your chin. Then lift it up. Head drops back. Back to center. Take a breath and lower. And lower to the left. Back up to center. Arms wide, take a breath, and then exhale. We've got hands together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers. Lift. Hands high. Gaze up. Arms down by your side. Inhale, lift. And lower. Lift. And lower. Once more, lifting up. Right hand by your side, reach across with the left. And then switch. Both hands by your side, lift the shoulders, roll back. And forward. Left hand on right knee, right arm behind. Sit tall, take a twist. Back to center, switch sides. And then back to center. Let's walk the hands out in front. And then hands behind you. Fingers pointing away. We'll gaze up. And then back to your seat. Let's bring soles of the feet together. So we're sitting tall. Take a deep breath. Lean forward. And back up. We're going to bring that left knee out in front, right leg on top. Getting things lined up as much as you can here. Take a deep breath, fold forward. Back up, switch your legs around. So now left leg is on top, or, the opposite one, depending on what you chose. Take a breath and fold. We're back up. Both legs out in front. Let's point and flex the feet. Rotating through the ankles. One way and the other. We're going to bring this right leg in close to the body, sit tall. And then lowering the knee. We're going to bring the foot in close to the thigh here. Take a deep breath. And then folding forward. Moving back up. Switch it around. Sitting tall. And then lowering that knee. Take a deep breath. Reaching forward. Folding over. Back up, both legs out in front. Take a deep breath, fold forward. Back up, let's point and flex the feet again. It feels good. My calves are tight today. Rotate. And back again. And then bend the knees. Lower down on your mat. Take a few breaths here, letting everything kind of settle. And then we've got the right ankle on top of the left knee. You might be right here, pressing this right knee away, Maybe this is a lot already on this right hip. If not, then we might bring that left leg in. And then set your both feet down. We're going to switch. Set both feet back down on the mat. Take a breath or two. And then we're going to move into either regular bridge or you could do supported bridge. I'm going to do supported bridge. So got my block, heels back close to the body, lift up, find a place to rest that block. And then you are just relaxing here, letting the weight of the body rest on the block. If it doesn't feel good, then move the block around until you find a place that works for you. And if you want, right, you can bring the knees in, you could extend the legs, lots of variations to this, depending on what you feel like. And lifting up, block comes out. We're resting back on the mat, soles of the feet together. See if you can let the body relax with the breath so you can feel that expansion. bringing the knees back together. We're going to hug them into the chest. Let's rock side to side. Maybe we're going to do some circles with the knees. So hands onto the kneecaps and then rotating. Moving one direction and then reversing that. Let's keep the knees in. We're going to bring arms out to a T or goalpost arms. Take a breath and then lowering the knees over to the right, setting our gaze left. Back to center, moving the opposite way. Back to center, hands by your side, extend the legs. Take a couple of breaths. And then we're lowering. You could do one leg at a time or both together. And then finding a comfortable place here to rest in Savasana. Traditionally, we have hands up, palms are resting, or the backs of the hands are resting, so the palms are facing up. Breathe and relax. So the palms resting, facing upwards is about being open to the universe and the offerings of the universe. That being said, if it's very uncomfortable and you don't like laying like that, that's okay too. You can do whatever you want with your hands. Keep breathing. Find that peaceful place. There's lots of ways to visualize this peaceful space. It's very helpful, I think, for a lot of people to visualize what that peaceful place is. It could be somewhere that you feel very comfortable, a physical place, or just sort of a general place, right? It could be the ocean, it could be the beach, it could be forests, or a beautiful garden, or maybe a cozy place by the fire. Whatever really encourages you to feel at peace and relaxed. Just as we are different, each of us, in all things, when it comes to finding what works for you, we're all going to be different. We all have our different experiences. And I think we make a mistake when we think it's only going to work if I think of this one thing or if I visualize things in a certain way. That's not true at all. What has to be is um, you find what works for you as an individual and go from there. So then moving fingers and toes, hands and feet, maybe stretching if you feel like it. And then we're going to make our way up to a seat. Unless you want to just stay on the mat, you could do that too. Hands together, take a deep breath. In and out. Thank you for taking some time today for yoga and for your practice. I hope that you have a lovely Tuesday. Namaste. Okay, great. Um, let's do our 5-minute meditation because we have 5 minutes of the day for this. We know we do. We always do. We might not think we do. All right, so comfortable seating. It could be on the floor on the mat, or you could be resting up against, a chair or against the wall. There's no rule about how it has to be done. Just some things that are easier than others. Certainly laying on the floor is fine too, although sometimes it's hard not to fall asleep. But that can be a good practice too, trying to not fall asleep in your meditation. Right? So peaceful, calm space, breathing. Okay, we're back. Hopefully that was a good one for you. For me, that went very long. In fact, I was just getting that thought. That thought popped into my head. Hey, maybe I forgot to set the time. But, of course I had. And isn't that the way it is, right? Just when you think, what is going on? Then, it's over. So there you go. All right. Enjoy your Tuesday. I will, and Dora, I don't think I said hi. Hi, Dora. I hope you're not gone. I will be back tomorrow for your Wednesday. Okay. Have a great day.